And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, Cheap Ludes. Look, it's Sunday. It's slow news day in 2K22, my team, but that won't stop me from making content out of nothing. Today, we're going to be counting down the top 10 cards you can buy right now for under 100k MT in NBA 2K22, my team. This encompasses all price ranges, so it's not going to be just budget cards, just cards that are like slightly under 100k, etc. Look, if you've watched these lists before, you know the drill. 4 honorable mentions, and then the top 10. So let's start with honorable mention number 1, Joel Embiid. Look, I'll be honest, I don't talk about this card nearly as much as I probably should. I don't know if that has to do with Joel Embiid just being kind of corny and I forget about him, or because he's a moments card and we haven't had those in packs in forever, which is a good thing, by the way. I said something about that earlier, and people were like, what do you want, moments cards back in packs and not do this DeMar DeRozan thing? No, absolutely not. Please keep doing the moments of the month thing, 2K, please. It's great. Like, I know it's not making you any money specifically, but please keep doing it. This Joel Embiid card is really, really good, though. If you're somebody who especially thrives off of shooting threes, working around like picks, so pick and pop situations, Joel Embiid is fantastic. He plays lockdown defense. He's a massive presence, sets some of the best screens in the game. He's just overall really solid for 50k. Next up would be a card that I think I've talked about a little bit too much. The next 3 I think I've talked about too much. Paul George. I mean, Paul George is still priced accordingly. You know, you can get him for under 50k. I will say right off the bat that I don't think Paul George is the best investment to make. And when I say that, I mean, like, I don't know how long he's going to be good and usable. I'm sure he'll be usable for a decent portion of time, but how long will he be a top tier small forward in this game? Probably not very long. I'd be willing to say I guarantee he gets outclassed in the first 2 weeks of season 4. Like, you will probably see this card dip to like 20k by week 2 of season 4. That being said, if you're looking to give yourself a leg up, or you're just a big Paul George fan, like, you can get this card for relatively cheap. That's why he's in the honorable mention section. Plus, you can find some with badge increases, etc. Like, just be careful. Make sure to actually look at the badges before you buy the cards, because sometimes they just have absolute junk in them. Next up would be Penny Hardaway, another card that I think is way too expensive. My suggestion would be, if you have this card, I think now is a very, very good time to sell this card. There's absolutely no possible way this card remains 60k within a few weeks of season 4. I'll be the first person to say that, because 2K is about to blow meta completely out of the building. They're about to destroy power balancing within the next 2 weeks. Trust me, they have a track record of around this time every single year they destroy power balancing. In 2K20, it was Lamar Odom. When Lamar Odom came out around this time, that was kind of the floodgates for the oversized small forward. So pretty much every small forward was basically like a Lamar Odom clone at that point. Last year, it was the combo of like Dissinger and Inferno packs around this time, and Anthony Davis. I guarantee it continues. Blake Griffin is another honorable mention. Blake Griffin's good. He's a great stretch 4. You know what you're getting with Blake Griffin. He's good offensively. He can handle the rock a little bit. Pretty big player build. Rebounds well. In addition to just booming over everybody. If that's what you're looking for, 35k and under is a pretty good price for that. 6'10", really solid jump shot. Not quite as good as he was last year, but that has a lot more to do with when he came out this year than anything. This is essentially the exact same card as the level 2 reward. Sorry, level 2, season 2 reward that we got last year. It just came out a month later. You know what I mean? This card came out in the middle or end of season 2. He would have been one of the best power forwards in the game, but that did not happen. That being said, still fantastic. Even got some solid gold defensive badges as well, with like rim protector and box and stuff like that. You could do a lot worse at this price point too. Like, I still, for my money, prefer someone like George Mikan or Bill Russell to run the center position, or even someone like Larry Bird, who I didn't put on the honorable mention because majority of people have him at this point. The final honorable mention, look, I was going to put Larry Bird because he is really, really good, but I wanted to spotlight my boy Mike Miller for a second, because I was shocked how good this card was. Like, is he a top 5 shooting guard in the game? No, definitely not. I mean, he's worse Klay Thompson, essentially, is what he is. The base 22 jump shot is fantastic. He's not the greatest defender in the world, but he's okay. He's manageable. Certainly, catch and shoot, limitless spot up, quick first step, limitless takeoff. As far as Hoff badges, pretty good stable of golds, even with like chef and blinders and stuff like that. Good dribbler, not great, but pretty okay. It's only silver clamps, but at least he comes with clamps. You can pick up gold clamps for relatively cheap. Same with ankle braces. Like, they're not as expensive as they normally are, so that's good. Mike Miller is just a out-and-out really solid two-guarder wing that you can pick up. 6'8", too, so he's big enough to really hold it down at either position. Look, my recommendation, and I'm going to talk about this card in a second, probably when I get to like number 9 or number 8 on the list, but Jaylen Brown, it's probably smarter just to grind for Jaylen Brown than pick up Mike Miller. But if you're looking for like a bench two guard for cheap, you can do a lot worse than Mike Miller. Mike Miller's really, really good. I might still use someone like Eddie Jones over him, but I like him a lot. Number 10, you guys know it's my favorite point guard in the game, John Wall. I love John Wall for a variety of reasons. I personally love John Wall because he throws up gang signs in the middle of NBA games, which I find endearing. Other than that, this card is just fantastic. 6'4", great release, dunks on everybody, plays pretty competent defense. I don't really have that many flaws with this card. I mean, the flaws that you could really bring up are that John Wall's not a big point guard, but that's like literally it. This card is fantastic. Some people hate this card. I've heard a lot of like people dislike it, but I can't really find anything wrong with this card, especially if you're someone like me who missed out on Gary Payton. Like, John Wall is an elite level point guard that you can pick up for under 50K, which is rare in 2K22, period. Number 9, I am arguably the highest on this card than probably anyone in the My Team community. I rarely hear anyone talk positively about Julius Erving. I still think he's a top tier shooting guard in this game. That's just me. I don't know, like, if that's a common sentiment. I feel like it's not. Now, the reason I bring up Jaylen Brown is because I think instead of picking up Julius Erving for, 70K, it's probably just a better idea to just grind for Jaylen Brown. You can knock that out in like an hour or two. And he's phenomenal, but Julius Erving deserves a spot on this list for being overall sick. He does lose points for not having the Afro player build, though, because that would be so sick. Number 8, big boy himself, Magic Johnson. Now, you're not going to be able to get the NBA 75 one for under 100K, but the Signature Series one is solid in a pinch. This one has Hoff Intimidator added to him for only $79,000, which is not the greatest deal in the world. I mean, I'm sure if you remember last year, Pink Diamond Magic was outclassed and no one used him, a month or so after he came out, which is probably going to be the case for this Magic as well. I would assume, you got to think we're getting the level 40 rewards going to be available day 1. That'll probably be a shooting guard or a center. I'm going to have a whole list about that tomorrow where I talk about season 4. But we're also getting like our first Opal token reward, plus we're getting a Friday pack to start the season off. That's going to be ridiculous. So is Magic the best investment right now? No, but he is a 6'9" point guard that can like absolutely destroy everybody you play in the post. Like, that deserves some recognition, certainly. And you can still give the Signature Series one like Clamps and like Hot Zone Hunter, which is really pointless. Don't give him Hot Zone Hunter. He doesn't have any hot zones at the 3-point line. He's already a pretty good mid-range shooter. It doesn't really help all that much, but you can still give him some relatively solid badges. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Magic's the greatest card ever, but Magic can hold it down in a pinch, certainly. Number 7. Once again, a card that I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about, and that's Dolph Shays. I would say, unquestionably, spend the extra MT to get the masked version. The masked version, in addition to having that gold blinders, which is pretty important for Dolph, just has significantly better, almost endgame defensive tendencies, which really help the card out. Dolph Shays is still like a top power forward in this game. I don't know. I don't think I saw anyone running him in the 250K qualifiers, but it doesn't matter. Dolph Shays is still like top tier. He'll be outclassed fast, just like Paul George, though. Number 6, not Shaquille Harrison, Shaquille O'Neal. Now, the only one you can get right now for 100K is one singular NBA 75 Shaq, but I have seen a lot of NBA 75 Shaqs go. Now, look, the reason he's so low on this list is there's glaring issues. It's a Shaq card. You're not shooting anything. He has a terrible free throw. You can give him catch and shoot and stuff. In this game, his release is not really that terrible. You can green it. But what he does bring your team is just unparalleled presence on the inside. Shaq is so monstrous. I feel like this is the first year, and I'm going to say this, I've been playing 2K since literally like 2K5 on PlayStation 2, and possibly even before that. I played Inside Drive. This is the first year you really get a feeling of how dominant Shaq was, and I don't know if that's because of paint mashing or what, but you feel it. Number 5, I have grown on this card. This card has grown on me, I should say. But this card was always good. It was me that needed to change. And Tim Duncan has changed me. Watching people use him in the 250K qualifier streams last night and yesterday more so, I have gained a new respect for Tim Duncan. He is essentially better Kevin Garnett. You could take that how you will. Some people are not going to like that sentiment, but I really do think that Tim Duncan is a superior version to what Garnett brings you. A little bit bigger, can hold his own in the post just a little bit better. I think his jump shot is just as slow and annoying as Kevin Garnett's, but a little bit more smooth. He's not as good of a three-point shooter, but he can crack them and you can green relatively easy. With Tim Duncan, he brings you a little bit more ball handle, and he's a little bit better at scoring interior as well. Tim Duncan is the whole package. I mean, there's not really that many big men you can buy for under 100K that really hold it down, and Tim Duncan is fire. I wish I would have realized this sooner. Number 4, Klay Thompson. Welcome back, Klay, if you haven't put in the locker code. It's pretty good. I believe it's like Klay Day or something. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Either way, Klay Thompson is pretty overall solid. I mean, obviously you know what's up with it. It is happy-Klay-day, and you get 2 Hoff badges and a free agent Klay Thompson, which has 16 Hoff badges, which I'm sure I'll face in TTO a bunch of times and really want to rip my own eyeballs out after I deal with them. But Klay Thompson's still good. Is he worth picking up for this price? If you really like Klay, sure. I'm sure we're getting a new one soon, so just remember that. Number 3, this one's going to be a surprise too. I don't think many people are going to expect to see this card either on this list or even this high, but James Worthy, dude. First off, his price went so far down, I'm shocked. Now, the one thing I will say is guarantee we see super packs this weekend. Season 3 super packs, probably tomorrow, if I had to guess. Tuesday at the absolute latest. And a lot of these cards are going to go down significantly in price. James Worthy is probably one of those guys who will go down in price quite a bit. He's at $38,000 right now. I bet you can pick him up for $20 in a couple days. That being said, also, you should probably sell any Season 3 cards you have right now, because the market crash on anybody who's pink, diamond, or below is going to be crazy. Outside of guys like Kawhi and stuff like that, I don't think their price is going to be affected very much, but guys like James Worthy, Dr. J, any diamond or below guy, their price are going to tank a little bit. For the pink diamonds, you're not going to lose too much MT, but the diamonds, you're going to lose an absurd amount of MT. Bill Russell being a prime candidate. Sell Bill Russell ASAP, because I guarantee he's going to be like 15K. Anyways, James Worthy's fire. He is the perfect combo forward almost. If there wasn't for Rudy, who is number 2, James Worthy would be the best combo forward on this list. Base 22, he's smooth. Everything's good. Now, he's just no Rudy Gay, though. Rudy Gay is far superior in almost every metric to James Worthy. It's the only reason James Worthy is in 3. Because Rudy Gay exists. Rudy Gay is a superior jump shot, and I love base 22, so it has to be fire. He has got the longest arms I've ever seen in my life. This man doesn't look like a human being in the NBA 2K22 streets. His arms hang to his damn ankles. I swear. Rudy's so good. He can't get range, but it doesn't matter. And number 1, fittingly the most expensive card on this list almost, Terry fucking Dissinger. Oh my god. I'm not going to sit here and talk about dentistry and stuff, but Terry Dissinger is fantastic. The only reason that I haven't picked him up is because I'm cheap, and I don't want to spend $98,000 on a card when I'm not a competitive My Team player. Which, by the way, everyone likes to jump in my chat during streams and remind me that I suck and that I'm not competitive, which I'm aware of fully. I appreciate you letting me know that, just in case my head got big for any reason. I know I'm trash, but Terry Dissinger is everything you need him to be. He can't have limitless spot up, which does hamper his value just a tad bit, but he can get chef, which most people would have a Hoff chef due to the Curry challenge at this point. He can get pretty much every other badge you need. Realistically, all you need to give him is stop and go and chef. That's about it. You don't really need to give him anything else. He's relatively complete. Quick chain, I guess, but that's really preferential. Same with hyperdrive. Either way, Terry Dissinger is one of the best cards you can pick up right now, especially at the small forward shooting guard position. Like, you know what it is. He's got the Rudy Gay base, too. He's fantastic. As always, it has been your boy Cheap Ludes. You know, I'll be back with more content tomorrow. I'll have the budget card list out either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to wait for the super packs on that. And in the meantime, have a good night, you guys. For real. Don't stress too hard about 2K. It's just a video game, I promise. Drop a like on this video. Comment. Subscribe. Peace.